Hi, I'm Mark Perry, the creator of BuiltLean.com, and today I'm going to show you how making even one small change in your diet can add up to a big difference over time. I'm also going to show you 5 kind of small changes you can make that will make a big difference in how you look and feel and improve your health. And so right next to me here, I have 1 can of Coke. 1 can of Coke has 140 calories and 39 grams of sugar. And just to put that in perspective, that's almost 10 teaspoons of sugar in 1 can of Coke. Okay, so now let's look at 30 cans of Coke, which is essentially just drinking 1 can of Coke for 30 days. Let's look at the stats. We're talking 1,170 grams of sugar, which is roughly equivalent to 292 teaspoons of sugar. And just to kind of give you a visual of what 292 teaspoons looks like, that's roughly a little bit more than half of this 5-pound sugar bag. Again, that's just from drinking 1 can of Coke every single day for 30 days, and here's 30 cans of Cokes. It obviously adds up. And then finally, that's 4,200 calories for 30 Cokes, which is a little bit more than a pound of fat. A pound of fat is roughly 3,500 calories. So I mean, this adds up significantly. So now let's look at drinking 1 Coke per day for an entire year. So instead of 30 cans, that's going to be 365 cans, okay? And so when you look at the numbers, they're pretty scary. It's 14,040 grams of sugar, 3,500 teaspoons of sugar. And just to give you a visual, that's 6 of these 5-pound sugar bags. I mean, that's 30 pounds of sugar. So if you just take away 1 can of Coke per day, you're going to be eating 30 pounds less of sugar per year. And then that's equivalent to about 50,400 calories, which is roughly 14.4 pounds of fat. Now let me give you some kind of tips or changes you can make that will, small changes that will really add up to big differences over time. So, for example, just regarding exercise, if you only do cardio exercise or you don't exercise, I mean, just doing 1, let's just say, strength training workout per week, and that's going to go a long way for you. Another idea is to shift your carbohydrate sources. And so if you're eating a lot of processed carbohydrates, let's just say you're eating ice cream, you're eating some sugary cereals, I mean, just shifting those carbohydrate sources to, let's just say, sweet potatoes, to fruits, vegetables can make a really big difference over time. That's something that I've personally done over the last several years. It's really been really helpful for me. Another idea is to add more vegetables to your diet. I mean, this is something I constantly struggle with. I really hate the taste of vegetables, I'm not gonna lie. But over time I've added more vegetables to my diet, and it's made it much easier for me to stay full, but not eat that many calories. A couple other ideas are, limiting your alcohol intake. I know living in New York City as kind of a young guy, basically you go out to bars and you go out to restaurants. I mean, those are like the 2 primary activities here. And so, I mean, there's obviously a lot of other stuff, but I mean, that's kind of what young people do. And so, just limiting your intake can make a huge difference. 5-10 beers in a weekend really adds up. Over time. I mean, forget it. If I showed what 5-10 beers would do a week or a year, I mean, forget it. The calories would be ridiculous. And then finally, of course, would be limiting sugary drinks. And I think if you do drink these kind of sugary sodas and like Arizona iced teas and Snapples, I mean, the best thing you could do is just to cut them out. Start drinking water. I mean, when I was in college and I was an athlete, I used to like drink Powerade and Gatorade and soda all the time. And then I was wondering, why I'd have these like crazy like energy peaks and valleys. But then after I started getting used to water, and now nothing else satisfies my thirst. I'm telling you, just making that one small change can make a huge difference to your health. And so I hope this was helpful, and it was a good visual for you to see, how just making a very small change can add up to a big difference over time. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next week.